August 9 was International World Indigenous Day. We did a fantastic podcast with Ben Stainer, a little bit about his background, his history as a proud member of the Indigenous community. Ben's an absolute role model and he's done some incredible stuff. And he actually put forward today's guest, who is Mr. Alfred Wellington, and he's actually the CEO of the Jerrinja Local Aboriginal Land Council. They've got an amazing initiative going forward where they're actually, they're calling it the Tiny Houses Project, but it's basically a state initiative which they've already secured first round of funding for, and they are set to build basically homes for the local people using sustainable solutions. The designs haven't actually been put through yet, but I just had a quick chat to Alfred and sort of got a bit of his side of the story, I suppose, from somebody that's sort of at the forefront of the running of it. So this is a really interesting podcast. Alfred is new to podcasting, so he was a little bit nervous, I think, but no, look, it's a really informative podcast, and it's actually a fantastic initiative. I encourage you all to get behind it. There's going to be links in the show notes. Their website is not actually live yet, however, it should be next month. So if you want more information on this initiative, then by all means head across to that. I'll actually probably announce when it does go live, so you can go check it out yourselves. But anyway, that's enough for me. Enjoy the show, and if you have any questions, please by all means post some comments either in the show notes at thesiteshed.com, or you can send me an email at inquiries@thesiteshed.com. That's inquiries with an E. All right, cool. Enjoy.
Giving tradies and contractors around the globe the tools to run a modern business. You're listening to Toolbox Talks from the Site Shed. Now here's your host, Matt Jones.
Hello listeners, and welcome back to Toolbox Talks on the Site Shed. Running off the back of World International Indigenous Day from August 9, which was last week actually. I'm speaking today with Mr. Alfred Wellington, who is the CEO of the Jerrinja Local Aboriginal Land Council. And I've asked Alfred to come on the show today to speak about a bit of an initiative they're running down there on the south coast of New South Wales, which is pretty cool, and it's got a bit of a sustainable spin on it as well. So Alfred, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Matt.
Mate, yeah, look, I'm really interested to hear a little bit more about this project. I suppose first and foremost, can you maybe give us a bit of a background to yourself?
Yeah, sure. I come from the Jerrinja community, which is at the mouth of the Crookhaven River here in the Shoalhaven. It's an old mission reserve set up in about 1905, something like that.
Yep.
And so we have a clan group here, which is a lot of our people are, majority related somehow. And yeah, it's we started off in these little cottages at the time when the community was set up. So the idea of having small living space is not a new one.
Yep.
It's actually, it comes from tradition actually of, having a small space, but mostly being outdoors and, moving around.
Okay, cool. And so have you lived down that way? Did you grow up in that area, Alfred?
Yeah, I lived in 4 or 5 places around Culburra and Orient Point.
Yep.
And the thing was, there was only so many cottages around at the time, and and our community was growing, and families had to move around and find accommodation as best they could.
Yep.
So it was actually we moved around a few places, and we actually got into one of the cottages. That was a little 2-bedroom sort of thing, and it was good growing up on the community here. It was a great life. You got taught how to dive for abalone, muttonfish, mussels, lobsters, and all that sort of thing, and learn how to fish. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, it was ideal growing up here.
Yeah. So, Alfred, you've been now the CEO down there for the last couple of years. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Do you want to just maybe run through a little bit of what your role there entails, and I suppose what you do day to day?
Yep, sure. So yeah, we've got the community. It's got 28 homes. So these were the new homes. After that, there was a lot of sort of going back a bit. A lot of our people had to move away, and so the elders lobbied the government at the time, and they were successful in getting 28 homes built here. and they're big places, 3 to 5 bedroom, and that. So I work out of the community. I live in the community here, and so yeah, we have the property management staff. We have a lot of land management stuff with land we have that has got high cultural and natural environmental values. So much of my work's around that, but it's also looking to the future as far as housing our community goes, and finding some jobs.
Yep.
And looking after culture.
Yeah, fantastic. And so today we're going to be speaking about a pretty cool initiative that I don't know if you got a chance to listen to the podcast we did last week with Ben Stainer, but he was talking a little bit about your tiny houses project for the Jerrinja people. And that sort of jumped out at me because I mean, firstly, it's something a little bit different, something pretty cool and innovative in my opinion. And also you guys have got a bit of an eco-friendly spin on that. And most of my listeners out there know that I'm a bit of a eco nut. So I'm pretty interested to see what you guys have in place from that point of view. So can you tell us a little bit about that project and maybe a little bit of, its background and how it came about and, how you got some funding for it and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So how it came about was, so I met a nice guy from a non-for-profit organisation, Alex McNeely, and another company director, Lisa Miller. So they run All Sustainable Futures with a couple other directors. So what we were looking at in the future fitted into their business too.
Oh, okay. So you'd been planning this for a while, had you?
Yeah, it was in our business plan to like housing, create more housing and employment. Yeah. But for me personally, I've always thought the best way to go is to do things on a sustainable level. I just feel that we don't tap into the natural environment enough like traditional people did. We use a lot of energy, we waste water, and all those things. So that's the idea sort of built from there.
Yeah, okay. So with that in mind, I suppose this eco-friendly design proposal, well, first of all, what is the design proposal? So you guys are looking to, is it rebuild these 28 homes, or is it you're going to be building more of them, or what's in scope?
So what we're going to do first is we've got a young architectural student. He's helping with the design brief. Yep. And so we're developing the design brief, and then we're taking the design brief and we're consulting with the elders here. So we're doing this the consultation process with the elders. Yep. And and then we it's UTS. There's the sustainability section in there. Mm-hmm. And also the University of Newcastle. Okay. And we're offering we're putting up a competition in both those institutions for the fourth year architectural graduate. Yeah, right. To come up with these designs. So okay. And then we'll have a committee with experts from the field in from both those institutions, as well as myself and directors on All Sustainable Future. So then we'll look at those and then think which ones fits into what we would see as the best design. Yep. Yeah. So.
And with that, how many homes are in the design proposal?
The first year, it's just the one home, and it'll be sort of like a show home sort of thing, a display home. Yep. And then that possibly could be our new office. Okay. As well. So in the following year or two, we're hoping to secure more funding. Yep. For Department of Family and Community Services and Ageing and Disability and that. To build some more homes after that.
So will the amount of homes you build, will that be dependent on the amount of capital you can raise?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay. And Ben mentioned as well the other day that you guys also have a like a medical centre there.
Yeah, correct. So yeah, we've got the medical centre here. It's probably been here about 15, 18 years, and it's got 2 doctors' rooms, healthcare workers, reception. So the fifth room we've taken up as our office space. So.
Okay. And so will that be overhauled as well in the development application?
Quite possibly. Actually, in that grant, there's a component in there to actually rezone, do a zoning on the land here, because we. So on one block we've got about 16 hectares, and we've got another block which is about 13 hectares.
Yeah.
There's a lot of room here for designing. The community space, place for the elders with the tiny homes.
Yeah.
Sports and gardens, organic gardens, and all that sort of stuff. So the good thing is with this grant that has got that zoning part in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And that's up to the council's discretion, is it?
Yeah. But well, actually, we've already briefed the council on this, so they're already aware of it.
Yeah.
That we'll be working with them on this. So.
Okay. Cool.
We're putting it all together.
So a little bit about the eco side of things. What are some of the initiatives you've got in plan there from an eco point of view, from the design scope?
From the design scope, we could, we use these designs to put like a manager's residence out on country, and also, you could look at portable little designs where you can chuck out and host conferences or host cultural gatherings or cultural bit of weekend cultural tourism.
Yeah. So are we talking things though in respect to, I suppose, like the use of solar or the use of wind, or like what kind of technology are we thinking?
We're looking at solar.
Yeah.
Solar there. Yeah. We've got a really windy site right here in the community, actually, but I don't know if it's an appropriate site.
Yeah.
But it really is it gets really windy here in the warmer months with the northeaster and that, and yeah. But we're looking mostly at solar and technology that we can store energy too from solar.
Oh, okay. Like in batteries or sort of the...
Yeah, that stuff, yeah.
Like the Tesla-style battery home dwelling things?
I'm pretty sure that's what the students in the design phase of the project will be looking at, all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I'm pretty interested now to hear about, I suppose, the involvement of the local people of the Indigenous community in the build aspect of this. I know Ben was saying that he may play a bit of a part in, I suppose, the mentoring and the leadership. But I'd just like to hear, I suppose, from your point of view, how you can see that working. So, I mean, are we talking about people that are currently unskilled and looking to maybe serve an apprenticeship or get some sort of qualification? Is that the idea? Yeah, that's the idea, and it could be guys or girls that haven't even thought of that sort of a trade. There could be good tradies out there, future tradies out there that might be good at this sort of stuff. So what we aim to do is down the track, I'll go back a bit. When I first met Ben a couple of years ago. Yep. So I got a bit of background on Ben and found out how much skills he has. Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of trade skills, and so we sort of, we want to build the capacity up in the Aboriginal community working with the industry, and creating opportunities in the industry with mentors like Koori guys and girls that are already in the industry to give a bit of mentoring, and so Ben fits right into that. Yep. So yeah, that's the idea, to get someone in that's really good at mentoring. Yeah, awesome.
and someone that can show good examples on what they've done before. So I understand that Ben's got he's got a couple of young guys that he worked with down the far south coast that are going well, really good now with that in working with Ben. Yeah.
No, he's a fantastic fantastic role model, that's for sure. I suppose so. How do you then approach that conversation with members of the community? You know, inviting them or giving them the opportunity to partake in this initiative.
So it's sort of good timing at the moment because we've got our upcoming community land and business plan workshops.
Yep.
So we're holding 3 of those, and
what is that?
Well, it's mandatory within the land council system to have business plans. So it's a really good thing that came in probably 10 years ago. I'm not sure, but at least 8 years ago. But so every local land council has to have a community land and business plan. So we're just updating ours at the moment. So we've got these business ideas and tiny homes, big living's one of them. So we'll actually be able to bring the members up to speed on it all. I know this. Of course the board members they know about this project as of 9 months ago.
Yep.
They're aware of it, and a bit of info has filtered out as we wanted it to do, and but this is our first chance to actually give a presentation on it.
Yep, fantastic.
So some of the youth and not just the youth, but people that might be interested in this sort of area, they'll have a chance to have a say on it and put their hands up and say, I'd like to be involved in that project.
Yeah, awesome.
So that's what we want. We want
volunteers.
We want them to step up and down the track. Well, with our 28 homes we got here, they're approaching 40 years old. So these guys could actually, guys and girls could actually be a part of the building team to do maintenance and part of their training.
Yep.
So it sort of fits into that.
So with a trade, if you're going to serve an apprenticeship, obviously there's a relatively large theory component. So obviously we have to go do tech, and you got to pass all your tech theory and that kind of stuff. Will it be the same sort of thing? Yeah, I understand that you need that stuff. Yeah, I'm sure it will. We should have a component that, so you do that. But we might be able to get some of that stuff done in the community itself. Right.
Use one of our facilities here and bring TAFE out to us.
Yeah.
It's been done before on some other projects.
Okay.
But it just reminds me actually of how things were done here when these new 28 homes were built. So what happened there was, it was a big project back in the day, putting in a subdivision.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they've done, they built this big side shed, and it's about, we still use it now. It's still standing, pretty good. It's about 40 by about 20 metres.
Yep.
So it's decent size. So what they've done there, they used that to do all their framing and all that for the homes there.
Okay.
And I think there was about 4 to 6 of our relatives that work. So they done a lot of carpentry work on working with the builders. So it goes back. Sort of like turning around, hopefully turn around full circle.
Yeah.
With this, because the guys did actually have a part in building these homes here, and one ended up going on as a career in Chippy, and he's one of our cousins and nephews. He's actually a qualified carpenter.
Okay.
Yeah, in the local Shorehaven here.
Yeah, cool.
And so there's probably about 3 or 4 of them that have still gone with these skills. Yeah, in different ways.
And so, obviously, like with with a project like you guys are proposing, I mean, of course, there's the construction side of things, but then there's also going to, I imagine, be a lot of infrastructure that's going to have to come into play in getting it done. I mean, roads are going to have to be built, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Is there, I mean, obviously you would have to have a full plan in place for that. Is that in collaboration with the local council that you guys are working on that, or is that on your own? Or
Yeah, that will come into the DA.
Yeah.
With that, the community here, it's got a zoning of community purposes.
Yep.
It really hasn't got, light industrial or residential or all these different. It's just got these. It's always had this zoning as a community and community purpose. And so with the in the project that there's that phase in there to get DAs approved.
Yeah.
So we have to look at with my project team, we've been looking at funding sources down the track for that.
That was one of the questions I actually had. Is there going to be an ongoing funding? Will there be ongoing funding, once the project is completed?
Oh, I'm not sure about that. I think that's something we have to look at.
Yeah.
I know that this grant that we were successful in, it's a 4-year it's a 4-year program, and I think there was 20 successful applicants out of 400. There was actually a huge number of applications.
Is that other communities, Indigenous communities?
No, for just the wider community.
Okay.
All sectors, in aged caring and all sorts of,
Okay.
So there was 400 applications. We got down to the last 20, which is really good.
Yeah.
So we had a good concept. Our concept was pretty sound and innovative. I think that's the main thing about it, the innovation in it. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so were you pitching that at the government, or who are you pitching that at for fun? Yeah.
We did pitch it at the government. The state, aged and family and community services department.
And so it's a state initiative?
It's a state initiative, yeah.
Okay. And who actually owns the land that you're proposing to build on? Is it the Jerrinja?
Yeah, it's owned by the Jerrinja Land Council and its members. So,
okay.
With this community land and business plan that we are reviewing, that's where the approval process comes in there.
Yep.
If they say, we want to do this, we want to build, 10 homes for the elderly, and another, in 5 years' time, we want to build 12 for others, If they say that through this process, though, we try to implement that.
Yep.
So, it's the members. The members they have the say of what they want happening on their land.
Okay. And I suppose one of the questions is, obviously you'd be building, say the proposals to build, 30 homes or whatever it is. Will that be enough to accommodate for the community, or how do you ascertain who's going to be living in the new dwelling and who isn't? Like, how does that all work?
So we have a housing policy.
Yeah.
And I'd say that, once we start on this project, we'll have to look at that again.
Okay.
And look at the different component in it as far as the aged,
yeah,
setting up housing, especially for the elders.
Yeah.
So we've got to look at that policy side of it as well.
So is it kind of like a hierarchy?
Yeah, and we got the elders here. We definitely got a group of elders, and we all like to look after them.
Yeah.
So it's just a cultural thing that that runs pretty smoothly.
Yeah.
Really, that stuff in the as far as the elders and stuff. People know who's the elder, who's respected, and that. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
But as far as with building new places for the rest of our community, we probably there's about 120 people that live in the community here. But over the years, there's probably another couple of hundred people that have moved away.
Yep.
Because there's just no jobs and there wasn't enough housing. So, that was always a problem.
Yep.
So I've got some family that's lived lived in Sydney for years and got good education and stuff, and they come back and they have an input into the community and this sort of thing, actually.
Yep.
And then a lot of them do want to come home, but it's just how do we create employment for them? And then we need to house them, and we're living in Shoalhaven, and housing is availability is pretty tough down here.
Yep.
And we have got a really bad homeless situation down here developing, and it's only predicted to get worse down here.
Is that right?
Yeah. So we've actually met with government, state departments, and so this is from their mouth. That we didn't realise. We knew there was a situation down here, but it just got worse.
Okay. I suppose this initiative really providing a solution to a number of problems, isn't it? I mean, firstly, you're providing housing for people. Secondly, you're providing work, which is fantastic. I suppose one of the questions that I had was in the space of, and you touched on it just then, education. So is it one of those scenarios where, okay, the project's going to be put together, it'll be built, and then it's finished. Then what happens to jobs? Yeah, so, we have touched on one subject just now where there's an opportunity. And, so, that idea might well come out in our workshops coming up. I'm sure, I'm going to be, initiating a bit of discussion around it because I can see it as a good opportunity. Because, and it's a bit of a sad thing too because, no one likes to see people without a place, like without a roof over their head, Right.
It's not, and we all know here, people know in the community what it's like, and to be moving around a fair bit and waiting for a roof overhead,
Yeah.
So we can relate to all this thing that's going on in the Shoalhaven here. So I can only see something positive coming out of that.
Do you think, Alfred, if this proposal, once it goes ahead and it's completed and it's successful, that there's a good chance something similar will be replicated in other areas? I'd
like to think so.
Yeah.
And while we're touching on this subject, there's been a problem in Aboriginal communities everywhere is that things get started up and then they stop.
Right.
Programs come and go, and a lot of our community members are trained. They're so trained in too many different things, So one thing will come through, some program will come through, and then that's gone. And there's nothing following up from it.
Right.
There's no job for those people to go into.
Mm.
So what happens is they disengage a bit from things, and so we have to look at sustainable ideas, where they could, if they want to do something, once they put effort into it, training and all that, education, that actually there'll be an opportunity for them and a long-term opportunity there.
Because it sounds to me like that would be a pretty attractive pitch, even from a government point of view. If on completion of this project, you could apply, or you could put forward other proposals to do the same thing in other communities. I mean, that sort of makes sense to me. But anyway. Yeah. I'm all for that. I like to share success, because I've seen so many negative stories, that of course
there's too many negative stories. So if we can produce a good positive story coming from the South Coast, that'd be really fantastic to share that. And and there's plenty of opportunity out there. The population's only going to grow.
Yeah.
It's not. So and you have a situation with that the homelessness issue that's going to grow too, sadly, from what we've been told from government sources. So so there can only be good things that can come from this.
Yeah. All right. Look, fantastic. Well, look, Alfred, I think pretty much has answered all the questions I had. Just want to say good on you for putting this proposal together and being a role model for the community, both Indigenous and not. I think it's fantastic what you guys are doing, and I really look forward to hearing more on the progress and the outcome of this proposal and what happens. And hopefully we'll get you back on the show to maybe give us a bit of an update once it's underway.
I'd welcome the opportunity to to fill you in on how it's coming along and that. And it's good to share good positive stories. That's for sure.
Absolutely, and it's a fantastic story. So, mate, good on you. And if any of the listeners wanted any more information about this project, is there a website they can head to?
Actually, we're just in the process of setting up our new website. We're getting this done through another youth project.
Cool.
To do with multimedia and stuff and digital art and stuff. So we'll have a website soon. But what they can do is they can send us an email.
Yep.
And my email's jlalc@bigpond.com. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. I'll put some notes to that.
Yep.
In the show notes, if people want to put some links to that in the show notes. Sorry, if anyone wants to get a hold of you, they can. And do you know when your website will be up and running?
Apparently very soon, maybe mid-September.
Okay. Do you know what the link will be?
I can. If you can just hold on, I'll be able to get it in.
It's all right. Don't worry. I'll maybe just tell us offline, and I can post a link to it in the show notes. That's fine.
Yep. No worries.
All right. Look, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's great. Good luck with everything. Thank you for your time, and that's pretty much a wrap for this episode.
Thank you, Matt. And my first time doing something like this, and quite enjoyed it.
Hey, you did well, mate. Good on you. Thank you for listening to another episode of Toolbox Talks. If you're liking what you hear, then you can head across to thesiteshed.com where you can join our community by signing up to our Toolbox Talks. You'll get sent a weekly notification, which is basically a highlight of everything that we've spoken about during that week, along with any other industry news that may be relevant or specific to the trades. If you're enjoying the show, you can head across to iTunes, Stitcher, or SoundCloud, where you can leave us a review. That would be fantastic, and all the reviews get read out in the show. Likewise, if you have any friends or colleagues that you think would benefit from the show and the episodes that we create, then please go ahead and share it with them.